Making movies is an art form, or at least it should be in most cases. That definitely isn't always the case. But one thing that can't be denied about filmmaking is that no movie out there is perfect. Even the very best movies out there have their flaws. Interstellar, my favorite movie of all time, isn't a perfect movie. Again, perfection is a level that's pretty much impossible to achieve in this world, unless we're talking smaller scales. For example, a perfect movie doesn't exist, but a perfect sequel can. And in many cases, a perfect sequel even surpassed the original in every way. And even if they don't, they still prove to be amazing movies in their own right. Now, obviously, not all sequels are perfect. In fact, some are the complete opposite. And some are just so fucking terrible you wonder why they were even made to begin with. Now, Birdemic. There is no good movie in this franchise, right off the bat, let me tell you. All these movies are terrible. But at least the first Birdemic is um uh somewhat competent for a poorly made B movie. Birdemic 2 was basically Birdemic 1, but even worse. And Birdemic 3, oh boy, let's get to it. So here we go. Birdemic 3, Sea Eagle. Amazing title, by the way. Truly a clever play on words. So, right off the bat, the movie begins the same way every Birdemic movie opens, with an obnoxious amount of establishing shots of people doing things. Regular, mundane things. That's a great way to get your audience invested right off the bat. Also, this movie has some ugly lighting at times. Like, seriously, what the fuck is this lighting? So this guy right here is our protagonist. I already forgot his name. He's just some guy. In fact, that's pretty much every character in these Birdemic movies. They're just people. They might as well just be video game NPCs because that's basically how they talk and interact with each other. So anyways, this guy walks up to this random girl and asks her why she's pouring water into the bottles she's holding, and she tells him it's for her research. And then we proceed to get more awkward dialogue exchanges that legit sounds like someone programmed two AI devices to talk to each other and simulate a conversation. So they talk about how the water in the ocean is harming the marine life because there is too much CO2 in the water caused by global warming, all that junk nonsense. Also, at one point during this conversation, the audio just awkwardly cuts out completely. Just listen to this.
The ocean acidification. That's why one of them washed up on shore.
That's tragic.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? So, anyways, these guys carry on with their conversation, and then it cuts to the next scene with the protagonist dude watching a documentary about climate change. And for some reason, they felt the need to drag out this establishing shot over and over and over again, and then constantly switch shots like 50 times over. And literally nothing is happening in this scene other than what's being said on TV, which doesn't even matter that much anyway, because the movie is already tackling a topic about climate change. This whole scene literally did not need to be as long as it was. Just 30 seconds of this one scene would have been more than enough. You didn't need to let it drag out for so long. Oh, but oh boy. I hope you guys enjoy those scenes because with this movie, trust me when I say it's gonna happen way more than you expect it to. Anyways, the guy goes on a date, I guess, with the girl to a place called Restaurant. Yeah, that pretty much embodies the creativity level that this movie has. So I think it fits right at home with this movie. And this scene, oh man, like literally so many other scenes in this movie is just a long, boring conversation between two blank-faced people talking about science mumbo jumbo. I kid you not when I tell you that's pretty much what this whole fucking movie is. This entire conversation lasts for a whopping 5 minutes long, and it has no use being this long because the whole movie has more conversations like this saying the same crap anyway. This movie has a non-existent story and incoherent plot that doesn't make much sense. I couldn't even tell you what the plot of this movie even is, honestly. The whole movie is just people walking around talking for like 5 whole minutes with no cuts made, and then cue the next scene to rehash the same scene we just saw in a new filming location. And the worst part is, this movie feels like it goes on forever. You really feel the runtime with this movie because it just drags and drags. And this movie isn't even that long, and it just feels like 3 hours, even though it isn't. I'd argue that watching this movie feels like I'm watching Age of Extinction, but at least that movie has some action. This movie is just people doing generic people things, and then when the birds finally do show up, like, why do I even care at this point? Nothing that happened prior made me care about what was going on. This fucking movie is like watching one of those Facebook videos where people just start yapping for like 19 whole minutes before they finally get to the point. In fact, you know what? That's exactly what Birdemic 3 is. It might as well just be a feature film length Facebook video. Also, what is with these bizarre location names? Vertigo? Seriously? Why would you name your place that? Anyway, let's cut forward to another very important scene. And you'll never guess what it is. Yeah, it's the guy and the girl having yet another conversation. At least this one isn't too overly long. That's pretty high praise for this movie at this point. Anyway, who cares about this next scene? So after yet another conversation scene with the most monotone line delivery I've ever heard, they stay at home at some hotel, and the guy confesses his love like an AI program, and the girl returns his feelings. Oh my god, this is such a compelling romance story. I care so much about this. But anyways, what follows after this is the most excruciating scene in the whole movie. Words can't express how much I hate this scene. Guy and girl get up and start dancing, and this fucking dance scene drags on forever and ever. I'm not even joking. This scene goes on for so long that I actually started losing my mind. I watched this movie with my friends, by the way, through a video call. This scene lasted such a long time that we literally had to do a split screen and watch another video while we waited for this scene to end. It was that painful to sit through. Like, who cares about this? This is nothing crucial to the movie. Why do you need to drag this out for so long? This scene did not need to last for 10,000 years for me to get to the point. And then the next scene, they have sex, I guess. And once again, the scene drags out and they proceed to give each other the longest kiss in the whole universe. Like, can you please just get to the point already? We are an hour into this movie and we've made zero progress with this story. Oh, wait. What am I saying? I'm sorry. Story? What am I talking about? There is no story here. This is just a glorified Instagram video about someone's everyday life. Oh, anyways, the next scene is just a plethora of establishing shots that serve no purpose. We literally saw these same shots at the beginning of the movie. At this point, it becomes clear to me that the director just wanted to pad out the runtime any way he could, even if it makes no sense. I mean, it's kind of obvious at this point that the director of this movie does not care about what he's making here. If you look up this movie on YouTube, you'll find this. From writer-director of James Nguyen comes the new sequel to Birdemic, yada yada. The worst film ever made and a true cult hit. The worst film ever made. When that is the biggest praise your movie gets, I think you might want to reconsider what you're spending your time on, my friend. And I know there are people out there that enjoy these movies ironically. Look, I can enjoy an ironically terrible movie too. But this? This has no excuse. This movie is just a shameless compilation of things happening, and the next scene is rinse and repeat. It's almost as bad as Shark Exorcist. Almost. And that's definitely not a movie you ever want me to compare to yours. Anyways, what else happens in this movie, and how does it end? Well, the rest of the movie, after those two painfully long dance and sex scenes, is just the same old shit again. People talking and having the most awkward conversations ever. And then the birds finally show up, and they do whatever it is these birds do in these movies. The movie also arbitrarily introduces other characters, but of course, since this is a Birdemic movie, it's meaningless and serves no purpose. The director even cameos in one scene like he's Stan Lee or something. Oh, that's real fucking cute. So yeah, the characters pick up the guns from the biker dudes that were killed by the birds, and they use it to fight the birds or something. And they start driving around talking to other random people, yada yada yada. I've skipped over a lot of other stuff, but that's only because literally none of it matters. It's the same stuff over and over again. Nothing that happens in this movie pushes the plot forward in a meaningful way. It's just like watching random shit happen for no reason. So anyways, the characters do some more fucking around until eventually we reach the climax of the movie, where the characters fight the birds fly away, and the movie ends. So that was Birdemic 3. It really didn't sound like I was talking about much of a movie, did it? Well, that's because this is barely a movie. The director of this movie might as well have just recorded a video showing the script of this movie on an iPhone and released it as a movie, and it would have had the same effect. This movie is literally just a script of dialogue and exposition that's passing off as a movie. In fact, I can easily make a quick remake of this movie right now if you want. Here, I'll show you. Get ready for Birdemic 3 Resurgence.
Hello, subject for conversation. Rebuttal. Funny in joke. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, did you like my remake of Birdemic 3? Congratulations, you basically just watched Birdemic 3. This movie is literally just like Birdemic 1 and 2, except 1,000 times worse, and with even more generic dialogue that would make an AI program jealous. There is no reason to watch this movie. It's just a massive waste of time. It's not even fun to make fun of. It's so painfully long. It's just a pathetic excuse to make a quick buck, and it seems the director is already planning to milk this shit for all it's worth. I don't even care if the director knows this is a bad movie and is intentionally making it to be a bad movie. There's no excuse. There's intentionally bad movies, and then there's just plain bad movies. And that's what this is. This is easily one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen, just behind Garbage Pail Kids and Shark Masochist. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, not even someone who's hammered. There is nothing to enjoy here. It's an irredeemable movie that makes watching paint dry seem like snow skiing in comparison. Ugh. Anyway, I've been Cosmic, and I need to watch literally anything else to cleanse myself here. I think Shark Tale will do.